Today here in studio, we have a guest that is certainly no stranger to the studio and absolutely no stranger to the chamber. He is Mr. Jim Maibach. He's with Peyco Southwest. Jim, how are you?
I'm doing great, Brian. Thank you.
Well, obviously see you around here all the time, but I can't keep up. What's your official title now with Peyco?
I'm CEO now. I've grown the company for 40 years, and I've owned it for 25. And I've got a right-hand guy who's president named Jordan Foster, who's doing a great job for me. He's been with me for 18 years. And I've got Cole Carter working for us, and he's been with me 7. And we have an appraisal department now, a full department with 4 appraisers in it. So we've really picked up our business in that area, which I've been working on since 1993 to improve the appraisal, just a straight appraisal of the commercial properties. And we do the residential now as well because we have several certified people in that area. But we also do property tax consulting, which we fight your property taxes on your property, your house, your home, or your commercial business, or the land you own, or your ranch you own. We're actually out in Palapino County. I have a lake house at Possum Kingdom Lake. Didn't want to get in the business out there, but we have now 500 clients around the lake itself. And then we have ranches too that we do for those clients that have lake houses. But and then we find out they own property in Dallas County and Johnson County, and we pick those clients up as well.
Always growing. Well, we're going to get all of that in a second, but you brushed over a really important number. I want to back up. Okay. It's the anniversary for you, 40 years.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
And it's actually June 15th.
So it's really close.
At Peyco in June 15th.
Nobody stays anywhere that long anymore. That's got to make you kind of proud. That's a big number.
Well, I entered into the family business and then eventually bought the operating company from my, my in-laws and my family. And they treated me great when I moved to Texas and got in the business and just loved Arlington. And I've continued to stay close with what's going on in Arlington and believed in Arlington even in the days things were not going so well for us, like 25 years ago or whatever. But, we've had some great mayors and leaders come in like Jeff Williams and now Jim Ross and prior to him, Harold Patterson. I knew him. I knew F.J. Stovall, met him a couple of times. Some of these past mayors are just phenomenal people and community leaders, and you follow them as you grow your business and you'll end up in the right place.
How did you end up in commercial real estate? Did you start with Peyco or did you have some prior experience?
No, I was a military auditor for 2 different Department of Defense, the Navy for a while, and then Army Air Force Exchange. But I had an accounting background and I went to work for Mr. Yarbrough, Paul Yarbrough, who was chairman of the Chamber of Arlington in 1979. And he had 12 companies going at one time. And I went to work in a real estate company as a property manager, leasing agent, and accountant because my background was accounting and auditing. And quickly got my real estate license. Then I got my real estate broker's license. And then I got my certified appraiser's license. Then I got my property tax consulting license. And then I got my arbitrator's license. So every year I'm in class for several weeks, renewing all those. But every one of those licenses, we make monies in those fields of our company. And so, I've learned it to the ground up and from the inside out. Like property tax, I served 2 years as an appraisal review board member in Tarrant County for Tarrant Appraisal District as third-party individual is here with the case and hopefully give a number that the taxpayer was happy with, but maybe not all the time. But I did that as a panel member and then basically learned the system inside out from how it all operated. And then in 1993, after I finished my 2-year term on the appraisal review board, I started the property tax consulting division of our company. And now we have close to 6,000 clients.
Goodness gracious.
And but I wouldn't say we quietly grew it, but we grew it and grew it. Word of mouth, clients telling other clients. D.R. Horton is one of our clients. I'm very proud to have a large Fortune 500 company that we do their work. We do property tax work in 11 counties for D.R. Horton in Texas. And they were a local business that started here.
Sure.
Got to know the family. actually got hired by Horton to do a zoning case in Southwest Arlington, and which when Robert Cluck was in office, and we got that case approved. And then I asked, hey, can we do some property tax work for you? They gave us their commercial properties because they always had commercial land adjacent to their residential developments. So we started doing that. And then we did their corporate headquarters in Arlington. They moved to Fort Worth. Of course, Jeff Williams got them back to Arlington. And when they moved back here, we represent them on their corporate headquarters in Arlington for the tax value. So just one of our clients, many clients like Bob Duncan, who had done really well here in Arlington and long time history, and a chamber chairman passed, and he got to know him and started doing real estate work for him, property tax work, then brokerage, and then appraisals, and just when you find a great client that's been around and has established businesses, you'd like to try to service all their commercial real estate needs if you can. And we've been able to do that pretty efficiently.
Over the years, with all the stuff you've done, you mentioned all the property tax and other things. I want to go to the development side of things, and I'm just curious.
Yeah.
What are, and we can't get into all of them, but what are some of the cooler, dare I say, more interesting development projects you've been involved with over the years?
Yeah. When Peyco had a lot of facets going on, and I expanded one of those, which was we've always been developers. We've always built buildings. We've bought land, laid out industrial parks, business parks, office buildings, retail buildings, built them, leased them, managed them, and then eventually sell them. And we do it over again. At one time, we had our own construction company, and that rolled into Peyco at one point in the early 2000s. So I was managing a couple of construction guys as well. So tremendous learning opportunities for me working with the engineers and the architects. But development's been a lot of fun because Summit Racing on I-20 was we able to sell that land to Summit Racing. And of course, they built their third headquarters in the United States. They have East Coast, West Coast, and right here in Arlington, Texas is their middle of this country. Worked on that project. One of the larger projects that I worked on for 7 years was the Kroger site at 287 in Sublette in Southwest Arlington. We went under contract actually, we sold Kroger a site out of that in 1988. And they never developed it because there was, 88, 89, 90, that, a lot of things tanked. So they delayed their development, broke the contract, and then we ended up buying the property back for, 20 cents on the dollar that we sold it to because they couldn't develop it without us around them to develop it. So, and then lo and behold, 30 years later, I sold it to Kroger again. And I worked with a developer that was Kroger's guy out of Dallas, who was very UCD development. And Robert, I'm trying to think of Robert's last name, but he was a very good retail developer. But it took 5 years to get the plat approved. And then the off ramp for TxDOT off of 287, we had to move that further north. Okay, so that you could get off and then turn into the site because you couldn't get off and rip into it. It's too, be traffic, and there's all those distances that they have to measure that keep the road safe for all the public. So we had to get the plat approved. We had to figure out all the utilities. There was some flood drainage issues over there, widening the road, traffic signals. Who's paying for the pavement? The city, the county, the developer. So it took 5.5 years to get all that finally together where Kroger closed on their site. And then we started selling all the pad sites around it. And then we had an extra 9 acres that we sold for more commercial on the west. And then probably, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, we finally sold the northern 9 acres that is now it's a residential townhome development that went in there nicely, fit in there nicely. It's a good transition to the neighborhoods around it, and that's doing really well.
It's fascinating that you were able to have so many transactions with Kroger so many times with it. But that speaks volumes for you and for Peyco, the fact that they kept using you over and over and over.
Well, they end up coming back to us because it was a good site. It was always been a good site, and we had a couple other suitors that looked at it but never came through. Those developments, you work with big corporations that are nationally owned, and it just takes time. And then that same intersection, I helped Reliable Construction, Reliable Paving, who were building all storage facilities. They built that across the street. A guy named Ron Sturgeon has a retail center across the street that was involved with a little bit when he first bought it. And then into Kennedale, there's a new development of apartments, and I did that. The family that owned that property in Kennedale for 97 years.
Goodness.
And the family matriarch, she was 97 when she said, "Jim, I know you're the right guy to sell this property for our family."
You got in.
So once we got Kroger done and the all storage and the other corners and sites are filling up, it moved west, and we were able to sell the front of it's retail with retail businesses, and in the back it's a very nice apartment development that I got approved in Kennedale about, I guess that's maybe 7 years ago.
97 years old is a big number, but another big number is 53. You know the significance of 53 years? That's how long Peyco's been a member of the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce. Okay. 53 years. That speaks volumes. I mean, and you've been with Peyco for 40 years, but I'm switching over to the chamber now. We're winding down, but I'm not going to have Jim Maibach in here and not talk about the chamber.
Yes.
Specifically, you were one of our recent past chair of the boards, and I know for personal reasons that was very important to you too.
Yeah, that was on my bucket list for about 10, 15 years. Been served on the chamber board, on and off for 25 years, because you got to step out after so many years and give other people a chance to be on. But then you can bring you back if you still want to be on, and most people do because it's a great organization. I've made so many great friends through the chamber. We have so many members that do business with us, continue to draw and bring more business in through. When you go to a function, it's not what you're going to get out of that function, but it's what you can give to them. And then when people realize they like you, they know you, they trust you, they do business with you. And, just a real quick example is the photography company,
Southern Flair,
Dwayne Lee. So Dwayne, he was wanting to grow and sell his building in Pantego. And we found him some land. We got the land zoned so we brokered the land, zoned the land. He worked with Moji on the development. And when he got his construction costs, he said, "Oh, this is way more than I wanted to do." So he goes, "Jim, sell the land." So I sold the land. We found him another building to buy in North Arlington through another chamber broker, Corey Garrett. And we were able to buy that building for Dwayne. And then we finally got the building sold. He finally sold his building. Another chamber member helped with the sale of his building later, Jeff Cassell and his wife. And they sold that building to the church across the street, which is the Baptist church or a school that's over there, Pantego Christian Academy.
PCA.
Yeah. And so
another chamber member.
But Dwayne, he's a great, he's all about chamber, and we did 4 transactions for him and helped him out over so that's just an example of the ability that you have staying active in the chamber, making some of the functions, going to the events. We had a great business expo about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Really enjoyed being at that and meeting more people. So,
well, Jim, thank you so much for so many things. I mean, obviously for everything you've done for the chamber's done for you, but you're always willing to work with everybody within the chamber. And I know you're so fanatical. You don't like working with people that aren't in the chamber because you've actually sent people in my direction as the membership guy to join the chamber so that they can work with Jim Maibach. So that speaks volumes because you get it more than most. Together we succeed. So thank you for all of that. Congratulations on 40 years of Peyco. That is a big number.
thank you.
Thank you. Folks, that's Jim Maibach, Mr. Peyco Southwest. in a lot of ways, Mr. Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce. We always love having Jim in studio just to hear the stories of everything that he's done. Nobody has done more for your chamber than Jim Maibach. Thanks for being here today.